Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today we have something a little bit different for you. We have coin roll hunting, but also we're going to look at some foreign coins. We're actually really secretly going to be looking at how to grade coins, and we're going to learn a lot by opening coin rolls from Australia from the 80s that have not been opened that will teach us a lot about coins, coin grading, things from the time period. Let's go ahead and take a look at these bad boys here from the Royal Australian Mint, Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. We're gonna get these guys going here. And so some of the things, obviously when people are coin roll hunting on US coins, they're oftentimes buying used rolls, if you will, and going through them and looking for odd items, something that's different or unusual. And so on these guys, we're gonna do something somewhat similar. But one of the main goals looking at these is to try to see if you can distinguish grade differentials. And you can see on this more modern stuff from all over the world just how hard it is to distinguish kind of grade differences. And also, especially when you're using bronze or copper coins, what it is that you're looking at when it comes to originality, color, luster, all of those type of things that you run into. So these are 1966 version of the 1 cent piece. This has the feather-tailed glider on it, believe it or not. I mean, that guy looks pretty ravenous. Pretty ravenous there. So what we're going to do, of course, everything in Australia kills you, is go ahead and take a closer look at these and see what type of contact marks you're running into and what you're not running into. Design elements, strike elements, is there a difference? Where do you start to see detail? And the reason we're doing this with foreign coins is because I think we're so used to looking at US coins in general that maybe we don't necessarily look at what we're looking at, if you will. Sometimes we don't take the time to study different things. And so you want to kind of think about coins and coin grading sometimes a little differently than maybe, just taking a quick glance. Well, I will say this, so far for the Australians, they have a very consistent quality on these. At least their 1960s coins did. So typically I want to look at coins like these and say, this or that, which one's nicer? And then secondarily, of course, some people ask about getting coins graded. And the reason we're talking about this is that actually applies very much so for any type of different graded coin, gradable coin. And which one would you take over the others? Now I'm seeing a very big difference in quality between these four coins when we talk about the obverse of the coin, the queen side of the coin, where you start to look in those open fields have a lot of little contact marks or a lot of little marks like on the cheek, something that you're not seeing. So this has a nice little hit on the cheek there, a couple hits on the neck, versus some of the coins down beneath that had much more clean fields to them. When you have open fields, that's where you're oftentimes going to see contact marks. So this is as crazy as coin grading gets because you're looking at coins and you start splitting hairs. But to me, there is one that I thought was definitely nicer than the other three, just because the other three I had pretty obvious contact marks. So there's one on her neck. So as we take a second look, is there one that you would prefer? That one had the big hit on the cheek. This one had a couple hits on the cheek and on the neck and shoulder. This one overall is pretty clean. So if I'm going to get rid of these two and just look at the other two, we'll see which one you thought had the cleaner look to it. And then after that, the next thing to consider really becomes one of surface quality. So especially on a red coin, you've got your contact marks, and then you have, is there anything detrimental long-term to the coin? Are they getting exposed to have they been exposed to different elements that is going to cause browning over the years? So, and then of course, that was just from one side of the coin. Now we're going to look at the other side of the coin, and you'll see that maybe all of a sudden the one that you liked more has more contact on the other side. So for people who collect a specific coin series, you can see just how tedious you can get, especially on more of the mid-century modern coins. And you can just see why people will prefer, when it comes to coin collecting, you know, some of the older coins are easier because when you're splitting a grade between like a 63 and a 64, that's actually very different than trying to split a grade between a 66 and a 67. And I consider the older coins much, much easier to grade. All right, Aussies, we're going to move on to looking at these 2-cent pieces and just kind of see what it looks like here. These guys, by the way, you know, on rolls on eBay sell for very, very little as a roll. So I just decided let's have fun with them and see what's inside. This is a dollar of 2-cent pieces. So that's going to be 50 coins. You know, and once again, this is just something for people who unwrap rolls of coins. You know, you want there to actually be a very, very similar quality throughout to know that the coins are originally paired together. Instead of oftentimes what you see when people sell rolls of coins, they will be very different from one another. This is also 1966. This entire series of coins is really, really cool that the Australians put out. This has the frill-necked lizard on it. The 2-cent, the 5-cent had the echidna, and kid you not, and the 10-cent had a, I think it's called a lindbird, and the 20-cent had the platypus on it. I like to say all of them will kill you. Of course, that's not true. But, you know, that maybe that platypus will drag you under. I don't know. You could die from cuteness looking at echidnas. So similar task involved whenever you're looking at coins like this. Your copper and bronze coins, are you going to see a quality difference? You know, it's really funny because I've opened lots of rolls of US coins from the 60s, and I can't tell you, well, I can tell you, I'm about to tell you, it's so different. The quality on these is really, really nice. And I'm used to opening coins from the 60s, like US cents from the 60s, or US nickels from the 60s, and they'll be all beat up. Mostly because they shoot them through those you know, they throw them off of chutes into big bags, and these things look like they came off the printing press and went ahead and straightened the rolls. I'm gonna be impressed for a second. So once again, though, if you're looking at different design elements and trying to understand how to grade coins, you get down to the nitty-gritty and you get picky. You get real picky. So here we go. We've got contact marks in the field on that guy. Maybe if you're trying to top pop something or find the nicest one, you're going to be really picky, and anytime you start seeing contact marks or discoloration, you're just going to say, nope, it's not that one. And if you have an entire roll of these, by the way, if you have an entire roll of these, don't go blind. Also, good luck getting a top pop or figuring out which one you like the best. But I think even coins in 67 on these are probably not worth it financially to get certified. But you never know. You never know. Once again, you see there's some variation. This larger coin, 2-cent piece, definitely have a few more contact marks, especially by the queen, than the 1-cent pieces did. There we go. And so I wish I had a roll of 1960s pennies to show to you so you could see the difference just in how many contact marks those suckers have. I love how the edge of these things practically glow. So in general, when you're looking at different types of coins you've never looked at before, you just take your time to compare surface quality, strike quality, contact marks on a bronze or copper coin. You're definitely going to be looking at color variations. Generally speaking, in any coin collecting market, red coins are preferred when you're talking about bronze or copper over brown coins. The exception or caveat being something with wild toning. And thanks for joining me on this journey. I did not know what we'd get into when we saw these guys here. Interestingly enough, look at this coin. Has fingerprints on it. So good. It's good to see some variation. Things that you'll see. Interestingly enough, some big old fingerprints on a coin dead center in a nice original roll of coins. Probably the workers at the mint actually had to handle a few of these, and you can see on a couple of them there's actually some browning going on. And I'd expect the browning to be a little bit more towards the edges than the middle, but you do have some color differentiation on these as you go through them. So anyway, guys, what's your takeaway from looking at some world coins? Leave your comments down below. Let me know. Thanks so much for watching. I've been the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.